Your cover image is what gets people to your product, but your description is what sells them. Your description and your images / preview file download, which is kind of your product description, but in image format. Those two things are what's going to sell the product.
Okay, teach us.
So we're going to talk about the different things that should be in a product description, and then I'm going to give you a gift at the end. The first part of the product description is called the snippet. Okay, and that's the first 2 to 3 sentences. And those are super important because they get pulled by the search engines. So if a teacher's on Google and they're Google searching Abacus resource and Lynette's product shows up, it's going to show her title, and then it's going to show those first 2 to 3 sentences. So, question for the group. What do we think should be in those first 2 to 3 sentences?
Like an overview of what's included in the product.
Okay. And what did you say, Leslie?
I said you got to catch me so I'll read on.
Okay. Yeah, a hook. Okay. And Jenny, what did you say?
How it's useful, why they need the product.
Okay. All great answers. There's 2 schools of thought. The first is that it's very keyword rich. It has to sound natural, but try and get as many keywords into one sentence as you can without, saying like, this worksheet is an activity that's a learning center, that's a worksheet, it needs to be natural. But this 7th grade math worksheet on adding integers is a fun activity that your students, whatever. So keyword. And the reason they say that is that will help it get indexed higher on the search engines. So you're more likely to show up, which is all true.
Okay.
The other school of thought is what Leslie said, where you hook them in by like painting like in the copywriting course, where you paint a picture of the pain, or you paint a picture of paradise when all your students are doing great and they're all listening and attentive because you've got this wonderful resource. Okay, so I like the hook better, but the SEO one might be the wiser choice.
Okay.
After that, you should have sections. Okay, and you want to use good formatting so that it's skimmable, because we know that most people don't read, they skim. So that's why you're going to have sections with headlines. And it's going to be like, the first one is what's included. You're going to do key features, how to use, things like that. Those are really the big 3 that I think of. Are there any that you can think of that I didn't mention? Sections.
Well, I was just thinking breaking up activities. So I broke mine up into specific activities, and then from each activity I have a description for it.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, because it's got more than one thing inside of it. Yeah, especially with your bundles, because your bundles are going to have multiple. So you kind of want to do a little section on each item in the bundle, even though they can see it all. If they hit the preview, they're going to see every item, but still do the product description.
Explain how to use, include all different, like get really creative of different uses. I mean, it can be used for its intended use. Yeah. But can it also be used as sub work? Can it be used as something take home during disasters? Like if there's a snow day, can it be used for that? Is it digital and physical?
That's really good. The reason you want to list as many different ways as it can be used, as well as like specifics on how you're supposed to use this product, is you want the teacher to envision themselves using it in the classroom.
Okay.
And so if I say that this activity is great for stations, obviously Jenny's going to like that, but Lynette might not. But if I say it's great for stations or an extension activity, or for extra credit when they finish the test, or a creative way to practice homework, all of a sudden, one of those things might get Lynette's attention, but I already got Jenny. So I'm like painting the picture, but I'm also reaching more potential customers when I can list more ways to use it in the classroom or outside the classroom.
Do I have to expand on that, Chris, then? Like say centers and then give an example of how I would use centers, or just, do you think?
So it's not going to hurt to expand on it, especially if it needs expanding.
Okay.
But I wouldn't spend too much time expanding on it.
Okay.
Another thing is you might want to list them. You don't have to, but you might want to list them in bullets. Bullets is a really good copywriting tool to break up your text And it's one of the things that when we're skimming, our eye sees it and we stop and we look at it. And then when I see the list, I'm like, wait, what? And I'll go back up and you'll read. So putting bullets in your product descriptions or in your blog posts is a good copywriting strategy. Should this be one of your preview images? Yes. So, you get those 3 images. One of those images should be likely, it doesn't have to be, but it's definitely in the download file, how to use it, couple images, and then explanation.
Okay.
What's included? So I feel like that's fairly self-explanatory, but you want to list the type of product it is. Is it a PDF? Does it come with Google links? Is there a video? Are there YouTube links? Is there a teacher page, answer sheets, all that stuff? Give as much information as you can. Here is kind of where, I don't want to say you're overcoming objections, but a lot of times they're going to be like, well, does it have, if it does, I don't know if it has an answer sheet, so I'm not going to get it. Well, if you can overcome those objections in your product description, you're going to get more sales. And I feel like a lot of objections come in the what's included section.
Is it a PDF? Is it a PPTX? Like, what kind of file is it that you're including in it?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
I've started on Etsy, and one of the things they mention is tell people how they're going to download it. It's more common on Teachers Pay Teachers, but is it a zipped file? Do they need to unzip the file to get into it? How do you open it? What kind of things are they going to find in there, and what formats? Especially if it's special, like weird Apple formats.
Oh yeah, okay, took me a second, but yes, great point.
Whether it's colored or black and white.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, the other section, the third section, is key features. And this, I feel like, is your strong sales pitch section. I tend to put it towards the top. A good way I've heard people say to use is to take a sheet of paper and on one side list the things that your worksheet has or your resource has. So like for me, it has a reteach section. It has a comprehension check section. So then draw a line down the center of the paper, and on the other side, so like a T-chart, list the benefit. So what's the benefit of having a reteach section? Well, that's good for independent practice. It's perfect inside the station so that the students can work on the material without the teacher being present. It's good for remediation. The students haven't mastered something, so they need to be retaught. And so this worksheet accomplishes that without the need for direct instruction. The benefit is really what you talk about. So we don't buy things, we buy solutions. So what problem does this solve in the teacher's life? That's what you want to talk about in your key features section. That doesn't mean we don't say, it has a quiz or it has increased rigor or whatever, word problems, but focus on your benefits. The benefits are what's going to sell the product. We've talked about the 3 main sections. Question: short or long product descriptions? What do you think?
In the middle?
That's a cop-out.
I know.
I think you're
As long as it needs.
I think long is okay. I think as long as you have like bullet points and stuff, because I feel like you said, that kind of is what I look at when I'm looking at somebody's product. So then if they are like, oh, I'm interested, like maybe I could read more. So I don't know if like should be really long, but if you have it sectioned off into, highlighted areas, I think long's fine.
Great comment, Sarah. By the way, remember in copywriting, we don't write paragraphs more than 3 sentences. So 1 or 2, maybe 3 sentences in your product description for a paragraph, and then enter, next paragraph. So if you're doing sections, don't get too long inside the section. Amy Porterfield, have you guys ever heard or listened to her podcast? She talked about landing pages, and your TPT product description really is a landing page, though it follows different rules. But she said that landing pages should be long because the only person who's going to keep reading is someone who's still interested in buying.
Yeah, that's true.
So for a long time, I thought longer is better. I'm now in the opposite camp. I think shorter is better on your TPT product descriptions. One, in a landing page, you can keep scrolling and having like buy now buttons. You can have images,
Mhm.
testimonials, things like that. And you don't have all that freedom in your TPT product description. But also I heard this really, I don't remember who said it, so I can't give credit, but a long product description makes the product sound complicated.
Mhm.
And people don't come to TPT, teachers don't come there to buy something that is work. They're trying to buy something that removes the work.
Yeah.
So not a long, maybe you're right, Leslie, maybe medium, not a long product description. So you want it to be long enough to list all those things we talked about. So, you know,
Yeah.
a good page full, but not excess. So I like the Einstein quote that everything should be as simple as possible and not simpler. And no simpler, no simpler. So make your product descriptions quick, succinct, to the point, simple, short and sweet, but get everything in there that needs to be gotten in there. Okay, some other tips. No keyword stuffing. Use keywords, but keyword stuffing is where you just list them all and it doesn't sound well written. Well written is always better than keyword rich. Emojis right now are in, they're good. So you can use emojis in your product description. And people like it. It seems to do well. I think I got 2 more tips and then our present. Cross-linking is okay. I would at the bottom put some links. The problem with to similar products, or like if this product is a digital resource, it's over here, or it's part of a bundle, even though the bundle is going to show up at the top. The problem with a cross link, another product link, is it takes them off the thing they were there for, and now they're looking at something else. So tread cautiously on your links, but especially if it's an upsell or a bundle, or it's the right reason. You know, if you want this for 7th grade, click here. You want it for 8th grade, click here. Those kind of links are really good. I do it at the bottom. And Common Core standards. I don't normally put them in my product descriptions. I normally just hit the button. Product description prompt for ChatGPT. Help me write a product description for a blank that I'm selling on TPT. The product is a blank where students blank. This resource is, and then describe it and its benefits. I'd like my product description to start with a good hook that's keyword rich. After that, I'd like to explain the product, what makes it great, including what teachers should purchase, why they should purchase it. Some things that make it great are, and then you list it. I'm going to share this document with you guys. After the key features, I'd like to have a section that helps the teachers know how to use it in the classroom. For example, and then you list some ways to do it in the classroom. Okay, I put this into ChatGPT and it spit out solid gold. It wasn't perfect, you know, it still needed a little human touch on some of it, but it was great. So here's what it came up with. And I did it on multiple resources and it was really good for everything. Notice it came with emojis. Unleash the power of mathematical heroics in the classroom with our captivating Save the Planet Slope worksheet. Transform slope calculations into an intergalactic adventure as students journey from tanks to aliens on a dynamic coordinate plane. This engaging worksheet not only makes learning slope a blast, funny, but also reinforces the vital skill of calculating slope. Key features, galactic theme, skill reinforce, versatile use, okay, and it goes into details. Why choose this? Classroom implementation, okay, I wouldn't call it that, but you know, how to use it. Elevate your math lesson to new heights with this Save the Planet Slope where learning meets cosmic excitement. I mean, this is really good.